What's up, Tiger fans? Welcome back to the Tiger Sports Report. So glad we can join you guys here again this week. I'm Ethan Scott, joined alongside Cody Ike. Cody, how you doing?
I'm doing great as always. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Cody, we are joined alongside two of Broken Arrow's Jungle Squad members, Justin Adair and Joe Cooper. Guys, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing good. Joe, how about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic.
So, football season is on. It's upon us. It's been going, now for the past 5 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that. You guys are the two biggest supporters of BA that I know of, along with all the other Jungle Squad boys. So, Justin, what do you do before every single game to mentally prepare yourself to cheer your heart out?
I think I just kind of have fun with it. Away games, we play music on the bus and stuff like that, get our blood moving, get our brains moving, makes it a lot more fun. If you have fun doing it, then you're going to enjoy it a lot more.
For sure. Joe, what about yourself?
Well, I kind of turn my brain off because if I think about it too much, I'll be like, oh my gosh, these people are making fun of me.
You want it to be authentic is what you're saying. Yeah.
I'm just I just go for it,
Do you guys just do you ever lose your voice from screaming so much or?
Yeah, so actually my first football game last year at Mansfield, on the bus ride home, I took a nap and woke up at about 1:30 in the morning on the bus ride home. And I couldn't breathe. It was hard to swallow. My throat was gone. But yeah, after every game, your throat's hurting.
It with me, water usually helps it. But like Joe was saying, every single game the next day, it's holy cow, I have strep throat or something like that. You sound so hoarse.
So how long have you been doing this for, Justin?
2 years.
2 years. What about yourself, Joe?
Yeah, 2 years.
So what would you say in these last 2 years would probably be your best memory from Jungle Squad, Justin?
I liked playoffs a lot last year. The vibe of everything and the way the students reacted to every single play during the football season was just so different and a lot stronger than it was throughout the season. So playoffs was a huge difference from regular season to playoffs.
Yeah, I'm not to go with the same about playoffs because Whiteout last year was one of the best games that I've ever been a part of. And getting to beat Owasso by 1 point was also so fun. And then just like Justin said, just the general vibe of it was just a lot different than the regular season games were.
That's awesome to hear. So we're going to be playing a game called Crowd Noise. Okay, Crowd Noise. Have you guys heard of the Whisper Challenge before?
Yes.
So yeah, you guys already get the gist. Basically, what's going to happen is I'm going to play a song loudly in both of your guys' headphones, as well as me and Cody's. We're going to hear the song too. And then I'm going to mute one of you guys, and you guys are going to have cards that are right in front of you right now. And basically, Justin, let's say you get field goal as an example. You'll have your mic turned all the way down. Joe's will be turned up, and you'll have to whisper or lip towards Joe field goal, and he'll have to guess that it's field goal. So are you guys ready to play?
Yeah.
Let's get to it. All right. Joe, you'll be the first one to guess. Here we go.
Tiger Woods.
Hold on. We're going. So, Justin, you're going to go through all your cards first, and then Joe will go through his. All righty. So here we go.
Baby shark, mommy shark, do 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 do, mommy shark, do 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 do, mommy shark, do 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 do, mommy shark.
Daddy shark, daddy shark, daddy shark,
Something stand.
One more guess.
Grandma shark, do 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 do, grandma shark, do 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 do, grandma shark.
Grandpa shark, do 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 do, grandpa shark, do 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 do.
I have no clue.
All right, we'll skip to the next one.
Let's go hunt, do 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 do, let's go hunt, do 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 do, let's go hunt, do do do, let's go hunt.
Run away, run away, run away,
Dude, I cannot understand you, bro.
Say
Halftime? Yes, sir.
Save that last save that last It's the end.
John something. John Coffey?
This will be the last one right here.
Donovan something? Donovan McNabb. I'll get that. Donovan Hardaway.
There we go. All right. All right, Joe. It's time for you to show your cards. We're running out of time, so here you go, Joe. All righty.
낮에는 따사로운 인간적인 여자 커피 한 잔에 여유를 아는 품격 있는 여자 밤이 오면 심장이 뜨거워지는 여자 그런 반전 있는 여자
I heard Julie.
Legendary tennis player.
Serena Williams.
커피 식기도 전에 원샷 때리는 선어해 밤이 오면 심장이 터져버리는 선어해 그런 선어해
Rob Gronkowski. I don't know why, but I'm getting Pitbull for some reason.
오빤 강남스타일
I don't know.
He called a shot.
What?
He called a shot.
Babe Ruth. Okay. Dude, you gotta be more like fluctuate with your mouth.
You gonna skip past that one?
Yeah.
보이지만 볼 땐 노는 여자 이때다 싶으면 묶었던 머리 푸는 여자 가렸지만 웬만한 노출보다 야한 여자 그런 감각적인 여자
I don't know why. I keep feeling you're saying Julie or Julia.
완전 미쳐버리는 선어해 근육보다
Say it again.
울퉁불퉁한 선어해 그런 선어해
I don't know.
All right, this will be the last one.
I'm not gonna get it. I'm calling it.
This is gonna be a tough one.
You say Tua? Tua Tagovailoa.
Yes, sir. All righty. All right, we are done with the crowd noise game. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. When me and Cody get back, we're going to be joined alongside the Ethan Walker to discuss fantasy football tips and, you know, who to sit, who to rest, all that good stuff. So, yeah, we'll be right back with the Tiger Sports Report after this.
Right now, get $200 from TTCU Federal Credit Union when you open a new checking account with direct deposit. What would you buy with $200?
Cars, race cars, my own apartment, 100 coloring books, and a puppy.
Or maybe some groceries and a tank of gas. $200 for whatever works for you from TTCU, because life is better in balance.
Welcome back, Tiger fans, to the Tiger Sports Report. We are now joined alongside Ethan Walker here for the fantasy football segment. Ethan, week 6 is upon us. Who are some players, in your opinion, that you should sit, and who are some players that you need to start?
For starters, I think we need to start Trevor Lawrence and Christian Kirk, just because they're playing the Colts. And last time they played the Colts, they absolutely destroyed them, going 24-0. Christian Kirk just nonstop. Christian Kirk has been good this whole season, so I have no doubts in my mind that he will continue to be good as long as Trevor Lawrence, because they have a good dynamic duo going on right there. And
I've heard some people after the take you had last episode about Christian Kirk that some people were using him for fantasy and having like just great times. So if you're gonna listen to anybody, folks, listen to Ethan Walker. Ethan, who are some players that you need to sit?
Especially for week 6, any Steelers players really. I mean, Kenny Pickett for his first start threw like 3 interceptions. 2 of them were tipped off. One of them was a Hail Mary throw, but still. What?
I didn't know Kenny Pickett did that. I'm a big Kenny Pickett supporter. I just haven't been paying attention, I guess. Dang.
Yeah. He threw 3 picks, and he didn't. I mean, granted, he got out after they benched Mitch Trubisky, but still, I don't. He might be the guy, but it's his rookie year. So
actually, leading on to that, Ethan, who do you think is better? This is off topic, but who do you think is better, Mitch Trubisky or Kenny Pickett? Who would you say is the solid choice for the Steelers?
I mean, I haven't seen much of Kenny Pickett play, but I do believe Mitch Trubisky will be better.
So, who are some underrated players heading into Week 6?
Heading into Week 6, D-Hop is supposed to be back for Week 6 for Cardinals, but I still believe Marquise Brown will be a sleeper because everyone's going to be worried about DeAndre Hopkins. So, I would definitely think that Marquise Brown is a sleeper for sure.
And what would you say is the best defense heading into Week 6, like the best defense to choose?
I hate to say it, but definitely not the Bills or Chiefs because that's going to be a very, very good game. Probably Jacksonville, either Jacksonville or either the Bears defense. Even they're playing against Commanders, and Commanders are not that hot.
You have anything else to add on to us?
Not much. Nope.
All righty. Well, ladies and gentlemen, when we get back, me and Cody and Michaela Converse and Jaden Stewart will be talking the NFL as a whole. So, yeah, we'll be right back with more Tiger Sports Report after this.
Recently, you've had to put your life on hold, and we're with you in this. At Ascension St. John, we're now open for appointments, and we are fully prepared for your safety and our care. As we open our doors again, our doctors, nurses, and care teams will continue to wear personal protective equipment. We've taken even more steps to clean and stringently disinfect all areas. We will maintain distancing in our waiting rooms, and will continue to limit visitors. And we will still screen all staff to protect their health and yours. Our emergency rooms are here 24/7. Please do not delay care. We're still delivering babies and performing surgeries. And we're open for your appointments, from specialists and surgical care to routine care and health screenings. Ask us about virtual visits. Ascension St. John continues to care for you, as we have been for almost a century. Thank you for trusting us.
What's up, Tiger fans? I'm Ethan Scott, and welcome back to the Tiger Sports Report. I'm joined alongside Cody Ike, Jaden Stewart, and Michaela Converse here for the NFL part of the show. Michaela, you got some questions for us?
Yes, I do. How do you guys think about how Cooper Rush and the Cowboys are playing this season?
I think Cooper Rush has really stepped in for the Cowboys. They're performing a lot. I wouldn't say better, but they're winning. And at the end of the day, that's all that they really need to do from Cooper Rush until Dak comes back. Cooper threw 2 interceptions that got turned back from flags last game, though. So that's not something you want to see, but he got the job done.
I think Cooper Rush, in my opinion, is a very, very solid backup quarterback. He's done a lot of good things so far in his last 3 matchups that he's played in and started in. He's 3-0. And, I mean, honestly, if you're a Cowboys fan, like I myself personally am, I don't want Dak Prescott back. I want to keep, starting Cooper Rush. I want to see what the guy's capable of. I mean, the guy's put up good matchups. I know he played, kind of some, let's just be realistic, stinky franchises in the New York Giants and the Washington Commanders. I mean, it was a decent, matchup between the Bengals. I mean, those are AFC champions. So, I mean, they're still a pretty solid team, even regardless of how they're playing right now. I like Dak. Dak is one of my favorite players I've ever gotten to watch. But I mean, Cooper Rush, man. If you're a Cowboys fan, I want to ride that train. I want to see how far it goes and how far it takes me. But Dak Prescott will most likely be making the start once he's back and healthy, because that's how Jerry Jones runs things.
I agree with what Cody said. He's doing a good job as a backup, getting the job done for them, winning. But I think Prescott should definitely be the starter.
Okay, I agree with all y'all's input. What are your thoughts on the Tua situation?
The Tua Tagovailoa situation is a complete and utter disgrace for the Miami Dolphins currently. It's really just pathetic how they ran that over wanting to keep a 3-0 record. I mean, listen, Tua Tagovailoa literally had a seizure on the field. He was walking off like he had just been hit with a baseball bat over 100 times on the head and was literally shaking. They don't know. Their medical staff clearly doesn't know how to do a concussion check. I actually, outside of Broken Arrow, commentate for a school called Vian. It's in a podunk town, and I commentate their football. And a referee actually in the last game got injured with a concussion. I think the Vian Wolverine 2A football team has a better concussion protocol than the Miami Dolphins of the NFL. they don't know how to do stuff medically at all, and they're definitely going to have a lot of fines and a lot of changes in that personal training staff very, very soon. It's a horrible situation for sure.
I think his doctor already got fired.
Yeah.
I think it's a very sad thing because you're a professional team, and having a quarterback that happened to a quarterback is obviously upsetting, especially when he's your young talent. You want to make sure he's healthy and everything, but I think they were just trying to rush the fact that they're 3-0 and they want to keep it going, so they put him out there. So I think it's just really disappointing from the franchise. They need to be better.
When he walked off that field after hitting his head against Buffalo, that immediately should have been like a telltale sign to not start the guy and just keep him on the bench. Jaden, what do you think about it?
It's just horrible. They failed Tua. They should have took care of him and kept him out.
For sure.
All right. How do you guys feel about the Lions allowing the most points scored through the first 4 weeks in NFL history?
The Lions are going to be the Lions. They've been doing, stinkfest football now for the past 40 years. Ever since Barry Sanders left them, they've just never been good. It's the Detroit Lions. What else is there to say? Their defense is horrible. Their offense is actually pretty solid this season. They do score a lot of points, but defensively, they're not stopping anything. They probably couldn't cover a simple halfback dive or a simple slant route. I mean, it's very, very bad defense. And, and as you said, it's the most points ever scored throughout the first 4 weeks in NFL history. So they definitely need to work on that defensively. Their coach, I love their head coach. Head coach is a really cool guy. If you guys have had the chance to watch Hard Knocks, I mean, the dude has passion for the game. He doesn't care about the media. He doesn't care about that stuff. He wants to see his guys win and succeed. So I think you give him a couple years, and I think a couple of years from now, the Detroit Lions could definitely be a solid team up there in the NFC. But for now, it's just going to be stereotypical Detroit Lions football. It's not very fun to watch, and their defense proves it.
I think the Lions have they have a lot of young talent, and we've seen them ruin it with young talent before. But I think that with the amount that they have, it's almost impossible to ruin it. Their defense is so young and everything. They have a bunch of rising stars. Their offense is really impressive though, as they've gone toe to toe with teams like the Eagles, which are undefeated right now. And I mean, it's just impressive what they've been doing offensively. They just need to step it up a little bit defensively, and we've seen moments where the defense looks really good.
And I say we shouldn't forget about Jared Goff either at quarterback. I mean, the guy is a veteran. He led his team, the Los Angeles Rams at the time, to a Super Bowl, which was very impressive. I mean, forget the whole pass interference call in the NFC Championship game. He still led them to that. So you give him some time, I think he'll be very solid in Detroit, and he already is so far. I mean, he's thrown a decent amount of touchdowns. He's doing pretty solid. But, I think they just need more time defensively for sure.
I personally think they're a playoff team if they can get their defense figured out with Amon-Ra St. Brown, DeAndre Swift. They've been doing really well this year, the highest scoring offense. If Dan Campbell can fix their defense, they're really good.
Well, I think that right there, fans, is going to wrap up the NFL segment. Thank you guys so much for joining us here in this one. When we come back, we'll be talking college football. Me and Cody might, have to go back and forth. So we'll see you guys when we get to the college football segment.
For families who like to build their wealth while staying liquid, we have flexible rate CDs to keep your funds working hard, even when you're not. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. The right balance.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Tiger Sports Report. I'm Cherish Booth alongside Cody Ike and Ethan Scott. Let's talk about some college football.
Let's get into it.
Ethan, what college quarterback has impressed you the most so far this season?
I have to say Spencer Sanders and Jalen Daniels of Kansas, and also those two. Really, in my opinion, Spencer Sanders doing his thing at OSU. Just recently got a win over Baylor, which was a very, very impressive one. Not going to go too much into detail into that for a little bit, but very impressive win. I mean, just a great game from Spencer Sanders, and he is definitely a Heisman candidate. If you don't believe that, you're weird. Jalen Daniels of the Kansas Jayhawks, they are currently 5-0. They barely beat Iowa State, so, I mean, props to them for getting that win over Iowa State, but they'll definitely start losing some games because it's KU football. That's how they do it. Oh, another quarterback, Adrian Martinez of Kansas State. Dude's a beast. Just an amazing player. We saw what he did against Oklahoma, so that was very, very fun to watch. But, yeah.
Cody?
Spencer Sanders has done great things, obviously, but we knew he could do this. So I'd probably give it to Jalen Daniels so far as the most impressive one, leading Kansas to 5-0, even though their schedule has been pretty easy. He's done some pretty impressive things on it with his legs and everything. So I'd probably give it to him.
Now, Ethan, what team has done well that you didn't expect to do well?
James Madison University. They are having a very, very good season so far. They are undefeated. Based off my knowledge, I actually don't even know what conference they're in. I know they're not a very good team, though. Historically, it's James Madison University, but having a very, very successful season. A lot of fans want them in the top 25, just like Kansas was able to get into the top 25. And that's another team I think is doing very well so far. I mean, again, they beat Iowa State 14-11. It was barely a win. Again, they're going to drop They're going to drop very soon. It's KU, but yeah, James Madison University and Kansas for sure are the two most impressive teams in my opinion.
Cody?
I'm going to say the obvious one here is Kansas, being 5-0. Again, very, very easy schedule. Almost barely edged it out last week, but like they're 5-0. They've shown that they're decent at football. I don't want to say anything too spectacular yet until they play a harder matchup, but yeah, no, they're definitely most surprising.
And we know as they get deeper into the season, they're in the Big 12. The Big 12, there's really no bad teams. So
yeah, the rest of their schedule is pretty hard.
Yeah.
So Ethan, on the flip side, who hasn't lived up to the hype?
Notre Dame, for sure. Notre Dame have struggled this year. Brian Kelly just recently hired from LSU to go there just to play losing football. Actually, no. Correction, Brian Kelly left Notre Dame to go to LSU. It's just whoever their coach is, I actually do not know off the top of my head, but they are struggling this season. It's not very good football to watch for Notre Dame. I mean, they have won some of their games. They're above 500 now, but I mean, we saw how they started against Ohio State, and we saw definitely how they started against Marshall. Not very good, not very well played. And another team I think is struggling very, very badly, which they better hope things change or they're not even going to, make it very far to the New Year's Six Bowlies even. The Oklahoma Sooners. The Oklahoma Sooners are struggling this year. They lost to Kansas State. Adrian Martinez and Deuce Vaughn had the games of their lives against them, and then we saw what they did against TCU, an absolute just bad performance. I mean, 55-24. Getting blown out by TCU as Oklahoma is very rare, and I mean, Dylan Gabriel was out with a concussion, but it was just not very, very good football, and OU's struggling, and they better pick it up when they play against Texas because I think Texas wins that game.
Cody?
As much as I love them, I don't think there's another team that's been as disappointing as Oklahoma. I mean, they've shown glimpses of being decent at football, but overall, they're probably the most disappointing, being 3-2 and losing to TCU. I mean, it's just not a good look for Oklahoma so far. There's only one really big Oklahoma college team right now, but
which one is that? Which one is that, Cody?
I don't know, but I think I'm gonna still obviously argue for OU as they have shown glimpses.
So Ethan, give me a brief overview of the OSU and OU games this weekend.
Well, Oklahoma State. I hate to be like this, Cody, but I mean, after the takes I had in our very first episode, our inaugural episode of the Tiger Sports Report, I consider myself now the Nostradamus of college football. I predicted OSU would beat Baylor and that they would be undefeated at this point, and I predicted that OU would be dropping games. So, Cody, actually, I want to ask you, do you believe Dylan Gabriel is a D1 athlete?
Real funny, but I think Dylan Gabriel, he's got the eyes, like he's very good at decision making. But after watching the TCU game, he just can't make the throws. Like, he's got the idea in his head, right? He thinks he can do it, and then he just can't. He can't make the throws, but he's got the visions. So, I mean, he's showing, like, the word glimpses is being said a lot by me, but he is showing glimpses of being good because he's got the decision-making already down, and usually that's the harder part. Now it's just making the throws.
I mean, Dylan Gabriel for sure is not what OU wants, in my opinion. I think OU is definitely in a rebuilding year, and I'll say that for sure, out of respect for him, because I know what OU is capable of. Okay, I'm a diehard Pokes fan. You know this about me. I love my Cowboys, but I mean, game recognizes game. OU is one of the greatest organizations in college football history, and that's a fact. But right now, they are stinking, and they definitely need to work on that. You were asking Cherish though an overview of games going on for OU and OSU. OSU
yes.
in their next matchup play Texas Tech. That one is at home. Texas Tech actually just recently ended up beating Texas, if I can get my phone to load. just recently ended up beating Texas in a very big upset because I don't believe Texas Tech have gotten a win over Texas in like a long time up until then.
It's been a while.
It had been a while. Oklahoma, we know who they play, though, in their next matchup. Then they play Texas, the Longhorns. I'm calling it now. They're losing that game. Today's date is October 4th, so this is beforehand, and this episode will come out after that game. I'm saying it right now. OU loses that game, and they're going to lose by at least 2 touchdowns, for sure. 100%.
As much as I would like to argue for them, I mean, our running game has been pretty solid and everything, but Texas, especially if we don't know if Dylan Gabriel is going to be back, our backup quarterback did really bad.
I want to see General Booty start.
I think he might be the option because our second string did really bad. And it was already a losing game, so he was just trying to prove himself to see if he can step into the role. He couldn't. But no, I don't think OU's going to beat Texas either, even though I love them. This might be a loss. It probably will be a loss.
Most likely, yeah. I mean, Texas has a lot to play for, too. They want to have a piece of that Big 12 championship this year, in my opinion. So they'll definitely want to come back, especially after the Texas Tech loss, for sure. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that's going to be the end of our episode. Thank you guys so much for joining us here on the Tiger Sports Report. I'm Ethan Scott, joined alongside Cody Ike and Cherish Booth. We will be back next week for another episode. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time.